What's up guys, it is Canton and we are back at it with another RV video. First of all, you guys are probably curious where Hannah is, and I'm sad to say that she is actually not with us currently. She is working right now, trying to make a little bit of money. She's gonna be here hopefully very soon, but for now it is just me. But today we are in our hometown. We made it back to Western North Carolina and we are here to drop off our beautiful RV. So for the past 2.5 months, we've been traveling all the way up the Northeast, along the East Coast and everything, and we have had so much fun. But sadly, that time has come to an end and we are ending our RV travels back in our hometown, and we're gonna winterize the RV today. And then in just a couple of days, we are actually heading to Vermont, where we're gonna be spending the winter working at a ski resort. So this is our last time seeing the RV, which is so sad, but at the same time, it's just kind of a new chapter. We are not done with RV life. We have just been traveling for 2 months. We're gonna go work for the winter, and then after the winter season is over, we're gonna get straight back into RV life, and we're gonna head out west, which we are super excited for. You can see here all the states that we went to, the national parks we went to. We did actually go to Conagry, something like that, National Park in South Carolina. But because the government was shut down at the time, we did not get a sticker. The visitor center was not open. So that is all we have for now. But yeah, that is kind of what we're looking at today. I'm gonna winterize the RV, and then we do wanna talk to you guys, kind of talk about what our favorite parts of RV life were, some things that we wish we knew before, just stuff like that, some random stuff. So we're really excited. Once Hannah gets here, we'll do all that stuff. We're gonna give you some stats, you know, how much money we spent in total, whole lot of stuff, so stay tuned. First thing though, I gotta learn how to actually winterize this RV because I have never winterized an RV before. I'm doing it alone, which makes it a little bit more sad. That brings me to giving a huge shout out to the campground that is actually letting us do this today. We're at Riverbend Campground. It is in Crusoe, North Carolina. It is a beautiful spot. It is so amazing. We have stayed here at this campground one other time. We stayed in that site all the way down on the end. This was the place that we had our last camping trip before we moved into the RV full time. So we did a whole lot of tests here. Our water pump broke and we fixed it here. A lot went down. So it is an awesome spot. There's a river right down here. So you can, you know, literally walk down the stairs right there and jump in the river. It is so nice. Last time we were here, it was warm, but 2.5, 3 months later, it is pretty cold outside. You have a beautiful view of the mountains over there. I'll show you guys the big sign that's right at the road so you can see where to turn in and everything, but check them out, Riverbend Campground in Western North Carolina. It is a beautiful place. It's only about 30, 40 minutes away from Asheville. So, you know, you can drive to the towns. We're just like 10, 15 minutes from Canton and Waynesville, North Carolina. So you can just drive to all the small towns, you can do some exploring. It's a really cool spot. I would definitely recommend coming to check it out. Again, we want to give a huge thank you to the owners of Riverbend for letting us come out and do this. Last time they gave us a discount on staying here for a couple of nights, and today they're letting us dump our tanks and winterize here for free. So huge thank you to you guys. By the way, before we do anything else, I do want to say, if you guys like this shirt, this hat that I'm wearing, you can find them on hkoffgrid.com. It is almost time for our winter apparel to come out. I'll pop them up on the screen. We actually are releasing 2 hoodies very soon. At the time of me recording this video, we don't actually have the samples in yet, but by the time the video comes out, they will be posted on our website and you will be able to purchase them. But for now, you like these shirts, you like this hat, you know, you're gonna like the hoodies, I already know. So go check them out on our website, hkoffgrid.com. But let's get into this. Let's figure out how to actually winterize an RV. We are literally gonna be learning all of this stuff together. I'm about to pull up a YouTube video to watch while I do this, just because I wanna make sure I get everything right. Ignore how dirty the RV is right now. You know, like I said, we just got back into our hometown. We are kind of transitioning from moving our stuff out of the RV into boxes so we can take it up to Vermont, because we're moving in a car. We're not actually taking the RV with us. So it is got a lot going on right now, which is annoying, but we're gonna work around that. I will say there are a few things that I know might come up as a little bit of an issue. First thing is there's no actual water access right now because it has been freezing here in Western North Carolina. It snowed literally last week, so there's a lot going on. It's too cold to have the water pump, or, you know, the actual city water connection that's out there, so we can't access that. We're just gonna have to work with what's in our tank. I think we've got a little bit left. Oh, it's almost full. Okay, we've got a lot left, which means because we don't actually have the city water connection, I can't run a hose inside to connect to the thing that we can clean our black tank with. So I do hate it, but we're not really able to clean our black tank. We have a connection that we can connect from here and run it into the toilet, but it's not long enough. So the piece that you actually shove down into the toilet to clean the black tank, we can't actually use that. We haven't used it for a while. We just run water through it by holding down the flush. So that part does stink. Otherwise, I think everything should go pretty smoothly. It seems pretty straightforward. I know that I'm gonna have to move the Bluetti right here, our solar generator, and get to the panel behind it because that is where our hot water heater is. And we're gonna have to bypass that once we actually start using the antifreeze and everything. I know that I'm also gonna have to drain the water tank, which might take a little bit of time. a little annoying also, but just things we're gonna have to work around. But first, I'm gonna look up a YouTube video and we're gonna see what the first step is. The first step is pretty straightforward. I just need to go outside and dump our tanks, dump our black and our gray water tanks. It's pretty straightforward. There's not a whole lot to that. I already knew I was gonna have to do that. I just wanted to make sure there was nothing else I should do first. So let's go outside and I'm gonna do that. I'll just time lapse it for you guys. I'll time lapse every step so you don't have to watch me do each individual thing for 10 minutes straight. But this should be pretty quick. This part should be pretty easy. I am kind of getting lucky because we're almost out of gloves. We're almost out of everything. This was honestly the perfect ending to our first RV life experience, I guess is the best way to put it. I've only got, I think, like 5 gloves left. Oh no. We should have enough to do this at least, which is really all that matters. But let me just get this done real quick. So just so you guys know, this right here, this connection right here that I'm trying to do, this is the most annoying connection that you can possibly have. Mainly because this is just like a generic branded black tank, you know, hose, but this is one of the name brands. And for some reason, it is just barely, just slightly the wrong size. So it doesn't actually click in. And no matter how hard I try, it rarely ever actually wants to click in. And if I do get it clicked in, it doesn't stay. Well, even if it does stay, it's just annoying because afterwards I have to get it out and it won't come out. It's too tight, which sucks. I think that's one of the things that we want after, once we move back into the RV, is we'll get the same branded connections and everything, because this just won't work long term, especially as frequently, you know, living in an RV for a year, you're gonna have to dump your tanks like 50 to 100 times, which is kind of annoying to have to do this every time. Ooh, I can't tell if it's really hot or really cold outside. It's hot, but it's windy, so it's just like both. See, the connection stays right now. No promises it'll actually stay like that. You know, also I think that we need some blocks so that our hose doesn't touch the ground. Not that it's gross, like nothing really happens. It's just annoying, you know, like it doesn't actually flow properly. Like I shouldn't have to do all of this by hand. I get having to lift it up and get, you know, the last little bits every time. The RV might also be a little too close, which is my bad. Tanks are dumped. So first step is done. I'm gonna get some hand sanitizer and we're gonna see what's next. So I know that the next step is gonna be actually draining all of the water out of our low points. So we have to open up the tank in the back, and then we have to open up our pressure release valves that are right under the door actually. So I think I'm just gonna start with that. I just made sure that the pump is off, and then we just got them right down here, have these handy little knobs. Really strong, obviously, letting all the pressure out right here. There we go. And then we will come to the back and we're just gonna drain the entire water tank. I walked back there and I was about to let all the water out of our tank, but I realized that water basically just like trickles out, like it is super slow, basically like this. And we have almost a 40-gallon tank. So I'm thinking maybe I just turn on the actual water pump. So we'll go in here, turn this back on. And of course it does have to fill our hot water heater back up, so it will take just a minute. But I think it'd be quicker if I just turn all the faucets on. Even if I just do one of them and let it run for 10 or 15 minutes, you know, maybe I'll give it a break halfway through or something, but run that instead of just letting it drizzle out of the back of the RV. I think that would be quicker, honestly. So I'm gonna do that, and I'll see you guys in a few minutes when hopefully this is all done. Okay, so I've been letting them drain for 20, 30 minutes almost, which is kind of crazy. But while I was waiting on that, I went ahead and moved the Blue Eddy, unplugged all this stuff. And as you can see, it has still got, you know, there's still a little bit of water that's coming out. You know, it's not quite as strong of pressure. So I'm just gonna go release, do the pressure release valves, open those up, and then open the tank in the back of the RV. Just that way we can get every last drop out before we put the antifreeze in. But this should be pretty quick. So hopefully we're almost done, honestly. It's a pretty quick, straightforward process, honestly. So those are draining, those valves are open, and then we're gonna head back here to the back of the RV. Of course, I'll need to dump the tanks again because I did just fill them back up. Well, the gray water at least. But right in here is where we can dump the rest of the water. And oh, I should probably move that cap, huh? It'll just pour right out there. So after that's done, we're basically done with all this. I'm really glad I decided to open up the faucet instead of letting this drain, because you can see it is very slow. Probably would have taken the whole day. And it is already like 2 o'clock, so that wouldn't have worked. While the water's draining, I figure I'd go ahead and come inside and take this piece of wood off right here, and then we can figure out how to reroute the water so it does not go into the hot water heater. We basically need to bypass that, so when we pour antifreeze in, it doesn't go into the hot water heater. We don't want it in there. Honestly, I don't really know why, but I know we don't. So I'm gonna figure that out because I haven't really looked into that before, and every single hot water heater is just a little bit different. So while I'm waiting, I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. So obviously that was pretty quick unscrewing it. Now I need to pop this off. This is always, there we go. I always have a hard time getting this piece of wood off because of all the cords tucked in there. So here we go. It seems like it'll just be one of these. I just need to figure out which one. So I guess this is where the water is gonna come in from. So I probably am gonna stop this one, right? And then I want it to go up here. So we're gonna turn that one on, but we don't want it to go backwards. I don't even know if you can see that. So I'm gonna stop that one. Yeah, that'd be it. Now the water is gonna go right here and then that way. Perfect. So now I just need to get the antifreeze once this water is done draining, and we can pour it in and then pump it, make sure it's coming out of all the pipes and everything, and we should be good to go. So I just hope I got enough antifreeze, honestly. I just heard a car and I think that Hannah is here. Yep, there she is, which means that it's time to do the antifreeze. The tanks are completely drained. We literally just have to fill up our freshwater tank, turn on our water pump, and then run all of the excess water out of the lines. And then eventually the antifreeze will start coming through the faucets, and then we're just about done. That is most of what we're gonna do today for winterizing this thing, other than, you know, setting mouse traps and cleaning all of our food out. We're basically done. Everybody say hi to Hannah.
Hi, Hannah.
Yeah, yes, perfect. Well, Hannah here has got the antifreeze, so we just have to pour it in here.
Watch this.
The sad part about this is that we only have a very, very small, little tiny funnel. I have a feeling that her pouring this in is probably not gonna go well, so I'm gonna go grab that funnel. Sorry, nothing. I mean, you're gonna do great. You're gonna do great. I'm gonna grab the funnel though. Here it is. Yeah.
That's the tiny little funnel?
This is the tiny little funnel.
Oh boy.
So
this is gonna take forever.
This might take a minute.
You know, I don't need a funnel.
You might need a funnel. We're about to find out. Oh no,
okay.
we're spilling even with the funnel.
Ow, ow.
Ow, wait,
it got in my blister.
No, maybe you should
I should
use your other hand. That's what I was gonna say. Well,
oh my gosh.
We'll catch you guys when this is done because this might take a minute.
Oh my gosh, it's not. It's flexing. When I pour it in, it just weighs it down.
Maybe.
All right. We're gonna aim a little higher.
No, it's just the pressure of the can. It's not actually the liquid.
No. Trust me, it was. I saw it.
Okay, all right. We'll catch you guys when we're done with this. We have 3 gallons total, so we just filled it up with 1 gallon. We're gonna go turn on the water pump and see how much that does. Obviously now it doesn't have to fill up our 6-gallon hot water heater, so I think that it'll be okay. Hopefully it'll get it in the lines and hopefully like a little bit in one of the faucets at least. Yeah. So I think you're supposed to, I don't actually think it matters, but we're gonna start with the faucet that is farthest away. So that is this one. So water pump on.
You already did the hot water heater thing?
Yep, I already bypassed the hot water heater. Thank you for checking to make sure because I've been stressing that I was gonna forget about that.
You're so welcome,
yeah,
Caden.
So this should be all. Water pump on. Oh, that sounds wet. You hear that?
Sounds real wet.
Sounds like there's some antifreeze going through.
Probably.
So once that thing slows down.
Ow. What is in that stuff?
To go. Antifreeze?
Uh-huh.
Not water.
Irritant.
Not water. That's all I know because it doesn't.
Are we turning
freeze.
it on now?
Once it stops making noise. Try it.
Still looks water. slightly pinker. Oh, look, it's got them bubbles.
All right, it's got bubbles. That's good. Okay.
Look, it's getting pinker.
It is, slowly. Slowly getting
pinker.
pinker.
Yeah. Should we turn it off for a second?
Yeah, turn it off for just a sec.
Maybe it's because I have it on hot mode.
We'll have to do it on both anyways.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna try the bathroom one. Let's see.
Oh, that sounds rough.
It is exploding. Please somebody tell me what is with RV bathroom faucets. They just always go crazy like this. I don't get it. Okay, I kind of feel like we just need to do another gallon because, I mean, I could see how a gallon could fill up the lines. And it sounds like there's air in the pump, which is obviously not good. We don't want to burn it up. We've already done that once at this campground. We're not doing it again.
Yeah.
So 1 more gallon and we'll check on it. We put another gallon in there. So water pump back on.
Oh, you can hear it sloshing around.
Yeah,
there,
it is sloshing around down there. It's back behind Hannah's brand new snowboarding boots. But I hope this works. We also have a shower full of random items, so I hope that we can either get the shower head and, you know, set it in the toilet or something so that it'll, like, you know, the water will go in there instead of in the shower. But either way, I feel like it's gonna have water, like, you know, dripping down, which will kind of be annoying, but it's okay. What else?
I feel like that'll be better than it pouring antifreeze all over our stuff.
Exactly. All right.
Oh, she's spraying.
All right. That is pretty much straight antifreeze right there.
Yeah, that's pink, all right.
All right. Then we go this way, hot.
Oh, she's pink, all right.
Hot is pink. All right, cool. Now we're gonna head back here. That's pink.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's also pink.
That is some pink water right there.
All right, now we gotta do the toilet and the shower.
All right.
If we can even get in here.
No, we can.
We got this.
Watch this. This is called parkour.
That was parkour right there.
Toilet.
Toilet, let's go.
Oh yes, look at that. We got pink toilet water.
All right, you good? Perfect.
Shower?
Shower, you just gonna grab the shower head or what?
Yeah.
We got clothes, we got everything in there. So I don't think we wanna just
Oh my God, I broke it.
You broke it?
The wheel popped off, but the wheel is back on.
Okay. Shower time?
Should I open the toilet at the same time?
No, because then water will try and come out of the toilet too. Oh, no, stop.
What the flip?
Oh my gosh, it got everywhere. I think it's just not tight. Maybe just take it off of that.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily have to use a shower head for it. That was scary.
Oh boy.
Good thing we
I didn't know why you were screaming. I couldn't see it.
It was like the perfect spot to not see it.
All right.
All right, let's see.
This is attempt number 2.
Attempt number 2, let's go.
All right. She's pink right there.
All right, stop.
Other side.
Oh my goodness.
Come on. All right, she's pink.
Cool.
We're good.
All right, so I mean,
we have a
honestly,
little bit of a mess to clean up.
We can leave that water in there, and then I think I'm gonna drain the little bit of water that came out of the faucets. We do want to drain that, and then we'll pour a little bit of antifreeze, probably a little bit more in the freshwater tank, and then a little in the toilet if we flush that, and then a little bit in each of the faucets so it's in the little trap. And then that way, everywhere there's normally water, there's antifreeze instead.
Exactly.
So we're good. So I'm gonna go finish that. I'm gonna drain the tanks, and then guess Hannah is gonna clean up this mess, huh? Yeah. But we'll be back in just a couple of minutes, and we're gonna talk about some RV stats and fun facts, and you know, just everything that we want to talk about that is RV related about these past 2 months. You know, like I said at the beginning of this video, we just want to talk about it. So we'll see you in a minute.
Watch this.
Okay, so we are officially finished winterizing. We only used about 2.5 gallons of that antifreeze stuff, and this was not a how-to video. If you guys couldn't tell, this was our first time doing it, so we were kind of just learning and showing you guys our experience. Hopefully you did learn a thing or two, but we're not professionals at all. So we do want to just give you guys a couple fun facts and talk about RV life for the past 2 months, just kind of in general. So I think we're just gonna get straight into it. We have been gone since September 12th of this year, obviously, and we got back into our hometown November 14th. So we were gone 2 months and 2 days, which I think ended up being 63 days actually. So, you know, just kind of fun fact.
Yeah.
We were only gone for 2 months because we basically moved into it full time. So all of our stuff is in this thing right now. And then we decided right before we moved into it that we wanted to work somewhere over the winter, specifically a ski resort. So we got jobs in southern Vermont over the winter. So we basically just took it out for 2 months and had our eyes set on a date where we would be starting our jobs. And that date is actually November 25th. So we're gonna be in Vermont on November 24th, starting our employee housing and everything, meaning that we only lived in here for 2 months. So it does not mean that we are completely done with RV life. I already said this stuff earlier, but we are gonna be getting straight back into this after the winter season is over. So April, May of next year comes around, we're heading straight out west, basically.
You know it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we're really excited to get back into it. We learned a whole lot on the past 2 months of living here. So, you know, it's just kind of a fun experience. It was really good for us to go out for 2 months, learn a little bit, learn a thing or two, and then have the chance to kind of look back at it and, you know, see what did we do wrong, what did we do good, you know, what can we do different next time. So we learned a lot. That is, I think, the best part about all of this. But a few fun facts. You want to tell them?
Yes.
How many miles did we drive?
We drove 3,110 miles total.
Wow, that is awesome. If you guys don't know, our RV only had about 16,500 miles when we bought it. And maybe a little bit less than that, maybe like 15,500.
Yeah, I think it was 15,000.
Because we did drive about 1,000 miles while we, you know, before we moved into it. But we basically just drove from North Carolina, you know, around North Carolina a little bit, and then we basically just gunned it straight up north. So we went all the way as high as Bangor, Maine. That is the absolute most north that we went on our entire trip. And then, you know, we went through New Hampshire, through Vermont, and through New York again, and then we just started heading south again. So 3,000 miles makes sense. We didn't do a whole lot of, you know, like going back and forth different places. We kind of just had a path that we went straight up north, and then same going straight back south. So, you know, when we go out west, we're gonna be taking the RV, parking it somewhere for maybe 2 or 3 days. And then now we have this beautiful car that we're using for the winter. And then, you know, we'll have our own personal car whenever next year comes around. And we're gonna be able to park the RV for a few days and take a car and go drive to explore places. So we're really excited for that. That is something that we wish that we did this time, but it was kind of just good to learn to see how it is without a car first.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It forced us to walk a lot of places and, you know, use these bikes right behind us.
I think fun fact number 2 is we only used these bikes 2 times. 2 whole times, the entire time we lived in it. One time was in the first, actually I think it was the first full day of us living in it. And it was just at my friend Gideon's house in Charlotte, North Carolina. So we literally just drove from Western North Carolina down there and drove around, or rode them around his neighborhood. And then the second time, we were out of spaghetti sauce.
Yes.
So we had to ride them, I don't know why I keep saying drive, ride them down to the Walmart a few miles away. And that was it.
They broke, yep, they broke, so.
Yeah. They aren't the greatest bikes, but you know, that was one thing we learned.
Yeah, they cost us $90 total, so.
I think either next time, you know, when we move back into the RV, we should either have nicer bikes or we should not bring them. Because if it's these same ones, I don't feel like it's really worth anything to us. But, you know, that's okay. What was your favorite part, Hannah?
My favorite part was probably Acadia National Park. I think it was so cool and it was so different than the rest of the East Coast. I will never shut up about that. It is so different and it was beautiful. That's all I really have to say. We went at the perfect time. The fall colors were just stunning, right? Just boom in your face.
Exactly. I mean, go check out all of our videos from Acadia, just Maine in general. They were all so much fun. Yeah. I honestly do feel like Maine and Acadia were my favorite place, also. Not to copy Hannah, but it was just that pretty. Like, it was just made us that happy just to be there. We keep talking about how it was basically a teaser for going out west. Like, we've been on the East Coast basically all our lives, and then, you know, Maine is so similar to a lot of places out west that we just got a little teaser of it. So it makes us even more excited to keep exploring when April, May next year comes around.
Exactly. All right, let me ask you this. What was your least favorite part, Caden?
Least favorite part or least favorite place?
Place.
Least favorite place, honestly, was probably DC. Yeah. DC was not all that. It's not like what you see in videos or movies or anything like that, especially with all that's going on with the government right now. It was just not like that. Everybody on social media hypes it up or, you know, makes it seem super scary, makes it seem like a terrible place. And it really wasn't that. Like, we didn't see police officers, we didn't see, you know, homeless people everywhere. It wasn't crazy like social media makes it seem, but at the same time, it was just not fun. Like, just straight up, it was just historical sites. And not that we don't like those, it was just, that's not really our thing. You know, our thing is nature, you know, looking at a creek and, you know, sitting by the fire, stuff like that. Not really old buildings quite as much, which not that I didn't like them, but just not my favorite.
Yeah.
So that was my least favorite.
Yeah,
What was your least favorite?
I'm also gonna have to say DC.
Wow.
It just, you know, not to copy Caden or
Yeah.
anything, but I went to DC back in 2019 for spring break, and it was so much different than it is now.
Yeah.
I was talking to my mom about that the other day. Like, when we went, there were food trucks and people and these big events everywhere. And then when we went just a few months ago, it was just
Dead.
sad. It was dead. There was
Yeah.
nothing. It was horrible.
Yeah, there was absolutely nobody out. I think that one of the big reasons that we disliked it so much is because we love New York City, and New York City being one of the most popular, you know, cities to visit and so touristy, everything about it is just big and loud and exciting. DC is just the opposite. Like there's not
completely
people out
opposite.
24/7. It's not, you know, it's nothing like that. So it just wasn't quite as fun for us.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
So the next thing that we want to show you guys is these road trip predictions that we made actually on August 13th of 2025. So we made these a long time ago. This was actually before we knew that we were just going to be spending 2 months living in the RV before we go to work. We thought we were just moving into it full time, and we were just doing that. We didn't know that we were going to be stopping for a little bit to work a job. So keep in mind that this was probably going to be a year or two after living in the RV, but realistically 2 months. So our YouTube subscription predictions, mine, I thought we were going to be at 1 million subscribers. Hannah thought that we were going to be at 500,000. And in reality, we are at
Let's see.
7,644. So a little bit
Close.
off, yeah. Miles hiked, you know, East Coast does not have the craziest hikes. There were some fun ones. Beehive was fun. You know, I'm sure that we could list all the fun ones, but we thought we were gonna hike 11,000 miles and Hannah thought 10,000 miles. In reality, I'd say we probably hiked 100
Yeah.
ish, somewhere around that. So nothing even close again.
You know.
We thought we were gonna meet, I thought we were gonna meet 48 and a half celebrities. I don't know really what I meant back then about half a celebrity. And Hannah thought that we were gonna meet 30. In reality, how many did we meet?
I don't actually know we met any.
Zeb Powell, we met.
Oh yeah, we met Zeb Powell and some of the snowboarding crew. How many was that? 6?
There were 6. We went to the Paved, Burton, and Red Bull movie premiere.
And we met Timothy Chalamet. We didn't meet him, but we saw him, so I count it.
I mean, Zeb Powell, we were like up there, we were talking to him, so I definitely say that counts as meeting him, and all the other guys at that movie premiere. So I think there were 6 total. So
maybe Timothy Chalamet could be the half.
Yeah,
6 and
that's
a half.
true, because we saw him, we didn't meet him.
Yeah.
I like that. So we're at 6.5.
Okay.
Money spent. I thought we were gonna spend $50,000 total. Hannah thought $100,000 total, and we said a note on that, assuming that we spend 3 years. So I think we spent around somewhere in between $3,000 and $4,000. We haven't actually added it all up quite yet. We will probably be doing that, but you know, if we calculate that, let's see. So 2 months, and we spent, let's say $4,000,
Okay.
and that was 2 months.
Wait, let me guess. $2,000 a month.
Yep, that's correct. So per year, that is $24,000 times 3, 72,000. So we're right in the middle of both our predictions. 72,000 would be 3 years if we, you know, assuming we spent the same amount of money every month. All right, miles driven. Hannah assumed 75,000. I assumed 69,000. In reality, 3,000. Again, we were just in the Northeast, so not a whole lot of driving. I feel like the entire Northeast is basically the size of California. So it's not that surprising. This one's a little sad. Times arrested. I predicted for myself 3 times. Hannah predicted for me, or I predicted for Hannah 2 times. Hannah predicted for me 5 times, and for herself 1 time. We're not arrested a single time.
Yay!
So that's a flex right there. Our favorite place, I said for myself, San Diego or Seattle or Bend, Oregon. And we haven't been to any of those places yet.
No.
Hannah said San Fran, Seattle, or Key West. Again, haven't quite been to any of those places yet.
We're getting there.
Honestly, I think that Maine/Acadia should have been on the list.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's our favorite place so far now.
So far.
Yeah. Times we've been kicked out of places living in an RV. We actually didn't get kicked out of a single place. I think that maybe there was 1 or 2 times a Planet Fitness told us that we weren't allowed to stay in their parking lot, but we would just move. You know, nobody ever, we never got the knock.
We don't count that as being kicked out.
But I said 7, Hannah said 13. Honestly, that's a pretty good streak right there. How many injuries that take more than 2 weeks to heal specifically? I said for Hannah, 26 injuries. I said for myself, 11. And Hannah said for herself, 20. And for me, 35. We had no injuries that lasted that long, honestly. I don't think we got an injury bad enough.
I don't think we really got an injury at all.
Yeah, I mean, there was some small things like little cuts, bruises, stuff like that, but nothing that we can remember. So I feel like that's a sign that it wasn't a
nothing we had to be hospitalized for.
Yeah, exactly. What national park we are most excited for? I said Mount Rainier and Hannah said Grand Teton. We have not been to either of those again. So,
well,
but that is all the predictions. I feel like before we actually move back into the RV and live in it again, we should definitely make another prediction list or update that one at least, something like that. Because it honestly was really fun to just look at that. Like we forgot about it for 3 months and then we just remembered it a few days ago, like, oh, we should look at those predictions.
Yeah.
So it was really fun to look at that and just be able to, you know, look back before we moved into the RV versus now and just see how exciting it is. See, you know, we were so excited to do this and then we finally did it. And we're living the dream, honestly.
You know,
yeah.
We out here for real.
We are. I think the last thing that we want to talk about right now is things that we regret / things that we would do differently. So Hannah, I'll let you take this one away. What do you think? Is there anything that you regret this whole trip?
I think I do.
In the past 2 months.
I kind of regret bringing the bikes a little just because, you know, we didn't use them and they just took up space.
Yeah.
And there was one time in Charlotte, we were at Caden's cousin's driveway and the back of the bikes, it was just slightly tilted. So the back of the bikes just scraped the ground all the way and it was just horrible.
Yeah.
What else?
I think that honestly, it's not really a regret, but something I would do differently is definitely go over every single item that we were bringing. So, you know, we move back into the RV, I feel like Hannah's gonna hold something up and I'm gonna be like, okay, we don't need that, throw it out. You know, same for me, I'm just kind of saying that as an example. But there's stuff in there like spray paint bottles, we have a whole junk drawer. I think the only thing that we used in there was like a guitar pick and, you know, like random chargers, stuff like that. Like a whole drawer can go. Then that's probably a bad sign. That's a sign that we can do a little bit of a better job, you know, figuring out what we actually need to bring. Same, you know, that kind of ties into how Hannah was saying the bikes. Like even before we moved into the RV, we didn't really ever ride them. So I feel like that was kind of a sign that, you know, we just prefer to walk. So it's kind of a sign that we didn't really need them.
Exactly, yeah, I think I agree with Caden. There's just a lot of wasted space in the RV. So many cabinets, drawers, everything that just throw the whole thing out, honestly.
Yeah.
We could definitely utilize a lot of this space better. Another thing that I would do differently is I think we should actually come up with a solid budget because when we first left, we didn't have any sort of budget. We were just spending our money wherever, whenever. And then once we came closer to the end, we kind of just ran out of money because we were just going off of our savings. Yeah. And, you know, the last few weeks, we were just really balling on a budget. Yeah. But the first few weeks, we were just going crazy, buying whatever we want. So I think we should definitely teach ourselves to budget better. Yeah. And just so you guys know, that wasn't us being stupid. Like, we had thousands of dollars saved up, so it wasn't like we were just spending money on every single thing. You've seen our videos. You know, the most we ever buy is Starbucks and coffee. You know, some random items every once in a while. It's not like we were spending money like $100 every day. It wasn't crazy like that. But in reality, like, yeah, we could have had a budget. I just feel like we knew we had, let's say, $2,000 to spend for 2 months. So we kind of just went off that, and it ended up being okay. We made it home totally fine. We could have gone another couple weeks, honestly. You know, we have food. We were never in an actual bad situation, but we could definitely be smarter about it next time. I'll admit that. Definitely. One thing I wouldn't necessarily say is a regret, but just something that we kind of learned on this little trip is that we could probably follow the weather just a little bit better because we did go north as it was starting to get cold, and it ended up being totally fine. We were only ever in under freezing, you know, below freezing temperatures for one night the entire time. It was in Vermont and it was 28 degrees for like 6 hours. So everything was fine. But I think next time we could definitely follow the weather patterns. So, you know, when it's getting hot up north, we head up north. When it's getting cold down south, you know, we head south, all that. But, you know, it was just kind of a learning experience. And we knew what we were doing. We knew that we were heading north when it was getting cold. And it was totally fine, like I said. But that is something I would probably pay a little bit more attention to. Part of the reason we did that, though, is because, you know, we kind of just wanted to experience north first. We were so excited to go up north, so excited to go to Maine and Vermont and New Hampshire and all that. So we just did it because that is what this thing is all about, what RV life is about, going wherever we wanted. So there was no reason for us to go south when we wanted to go north. Just, you know, I guess that's kind of what I have to say about that. Exactly. Yeah, I agree. I think Definitely need to start looking at the weather app.
Yeah, I don't think we looked at the weather app for future days, except if we were planning to do something outside. Every once in a while we'd look, but really other than that, we didn't really worry about it that much.
Yeah, I mean, we ended up being fine, so whatever.
Yeah, I think that there are a few things that we want before we move back into the RV. You know, we've talked about getting 3 more solar panels because we only have 300 watts up there right now. Just finding better placement for things. Maybe we can move the Bluetti around a little bit. Just get more used to stuff like that. And I feel like most of that has been coming to us as we live in the RV longer and longer. But just kind of something I wanted to point out.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, guys. Well, we have had a great past 2 months living in this RV, and we do want to thank you guys for all the support. We honestly could not have done this without you guys, and we have enjoyed making videos. You know, we've made videos multiple times a week for the past 2 months. We've posted a short every single day for the past 5 months or something, since May 24th?
Yeah,
May 24th. And right now it is November 16th. You guys won't see this until like early December, but you know, that just kind of shows the dedication and how hard we work to put effort into these videos. And it is so much fun. But you know, if you guys enjoy it, make sure you drop a like and subscribe. Again, you know, hkoffgrid.com. Go check out our hats.
Yes.
Hoodies are coming very soon. We are so excited about that. You can see I'm wearing like REI stuff right now. I want to be wearing our hoodies, but they haven't shipped yet. It's okay. Yeah, but if you guys have any other questions about the RV life, anything about us, just in general, if you want to know anything about us or our life, just ask. Drop them down in the comments below. We're happy to make more videos like this. We love making more videos like this. But this is the last time you guys will be seeing the RV, which is really sad. Honestly, in just a few more days, we're not going to see the RV anymore.
Yeah.
We're going to go 6 months almost without seeing the RV, which is sad. No RV content for that long.
Yeah.
But we're going to find other stuff to do.
We're going to make up for it with snowboarding and hiking and Vermont.
Yeah, we're going to be in Vermont for the winter, so I feel like there is no way that our channel is going to go downhill. It's just going to get better and better. But hopefully we do something else while we're here in our hometown in North Carolina. Maybe go on a hike or, you know, go jump in some cold water. Never mind. All right, maybe we'll stick with a hike. But otherwise, if we don't do that, we will see you guys in Vermont. So stay tuned. We love you guys, and we hope you guys have a good night. Sleep good.
Sleep tight. I love you.